In Anam, unless John Corla, Deputy Catherine Connolly.
Minister, I ask for a status update on the mother and baby institutions payment the baby institutions payment scheme bill. Forgive me if I'm a little emotional in relation to this, and also quite professional, I know it, on every level in the past. So I ask my question in the hope that the government has learned from the Ombudsman's report in 2007, when he talked about a lost opportunity, that we've learned from the cross-party recommendations, from the Oak consultation and many other documents.
Thank you, Deputy. I'm acutely aware of the sense of urgency surrounding the establishment of the Mother and Baby Institutions Payment Scheme. I'm focused on delivering the scheme as soon as possible. On Tuesday, I brought the bill providing for the payment scheme to the government and obtained approval for its publication and for its presentation to the Houses of the Oireachtas later on this month. The scheme will provide financial payments and an enhanced medical card to eligible survivors in acknowledgement of suffering experienced while resident in mother and baby and county home institutions. Recognising the impact mother and baby institutions had on so much of Irish society, it will be one of the largest schemes of its kind in terms of the number of expected to benefit. 34,000 survivors will be eligible for financial payments and 19,000 will be eligible for an enhanced medical card under the scheme, and the overall value of the scheme will be €800 million. All mothers who spent time in an institution and all children who spent 6 months or more in an institution will be eligible for a payment, with the amount increasing based on their length of stay. There will be an additional work-related payment for women who are resident in certain institutions for more than 3 months, while an enhanced medical card will be available to everyone who is resident in a mother and baby or county home institution for 6 months or more. Recognising the importance of delivering this scheme for survivors, I hope to be able to bring the bill swiftly through both Houses of the Oireachtas, and subject to the legislation being passed and enacted and the administrative structures being established, the scheme will then open for applicants. Just 2 changes that are of significance in terms of the bill. We've now banded the various payments. So an individual who was in an institution for 5 years and 1 month and 5 years and 11 months, they will receive different payments, recognising the longer length of time. And importantly, absences from an institution for less than 180 days will be discounted, recognising that those absences were often as a result of illnesses as a consequence of the stay in that particular institution.
Margaret, I welcome that it's going to be published. I welcome that it's coming before the Dáil. I welcome the change to the bans, and I welcome the changes in relation to the absences. However, you're persisting with a scheme that goes forward with the imbalance of power, with division, and is absolutely coldly and calculatedly directed at reducing costs. You are excluding the babies that were there less than 6 months, completely at odds with the report from the committee, completely at odds from the experts that contacted you, 34 clinicians working in the area of childhood trauma. I've referred to it before. Childhood trauma, which includes separation from primary caregivers and exposure to multiple caregivers in an institutional setting, has the greatest impact early in childhood. Thus, to state that young children who might have been in mother and baby homes for a period of 2 to 3 months early in life are less impacted by those who spent longer is simply not scientifically correct. Indeed, the opposite is true.
Thanks, Deputy. We've sought to learn from previous schemes in terms of how we design and how we implement this scheme. We looked at the residential institutions redress scheme, where individuals had to come before a committee to give evidence and indeed face cross-examination, and I think everyone understands that that was a re-traumatising process. We've designed this scheme based on length of time in an institution. According to your length of time in the institution, you receive a relevant payment, and that means that once the time spent is proved, that is all an applicant needs to do. There's no calling in, no questioning, no re-traumatisation, and we believe that's the best way forward in trying to design a scheme that provides individuals with these payments quickly, recognising the age of many people, and most importantly, doesn't result in a re-traumatisation, and that's why we've gone with a scheme based on time spent within institutions.
can't do justice to it are those that have suffered as a result of government decisions and institutions. You are persisting with a cold, calculated scheme that's based on reducing costs. You're excluding all of those who were boarded out. You're excluding the thousands that spent less than 6 months. You're ignoring scientific evidence. You're ignoring the Oak consultation. You're ignoring the UN concerns in relation to systematic racism for those who weren't white and who spent longer and suffered more. You're ignoring what the Ombudsman told us back in 2017 to learn from the debacle that was the Magdalene redress scheme at the time, an opportunity lost. You are failing to learn from the redress that you quote, which had a waiver system, and there's still a waiver system involved in this. On every level, there's an utter failure to learn. And what's really horrible about all of this and unacceptable is that you're persisting with a language of equality and justice that bears no connection to the scheme that you're proposing. Dermot.